We're back. We're back. Better than ever. Let's get it. 8 minutes. What do you think we're going to do today with news and the crash? What news are you talking about? Talking about Powell speaking? I think we're going to push up. Yeah, Powell's at 12.30, right? I don't know that we'll fill this gap. I could be completely wrong, man. Your guess is as good as mine, to be honest with you. But if I was a betting man, I would think that we're going to push higher here. We'll see. This sell-off had to do with China announcing some stuff that they had going on. Can't remember who they were imposing something on somebody. But this was China right here. I think we push higher. We'll see though. We'll just play it by ear. What's interesting is I don't know if you guys do this also, but I like to keep track of the Magnificent Seven while I'm trading. I don't always look at all 7 of them. I'll look at NVIDIA, I'll look at Tesla, I'll look at those guys, kind of get an idea of what the market is kind of foretelling. If you look at, and I'll pull it up right here, I have them all combined on this indicator, or on this chart. So this is the Magnificent Seven here. We're trading higher above VWAP right here. So we very well, I mean, this could, at open, it could, obviously gap back down. But the fact that we're trading above VWAP, and we have been doing so since yesterday, we had a slight pullback at 2:30 yesterday, and then we went higher again. I think that the fact that this Magnificent Seven is trading above VWAP, I'd like to see it push a little higher, and if it breaks maybe the 270 area, I think we're gonna keep pushing higher. But we'll see. What are we trading this morning, family? NQ and ES, yeah. So we'll see. 5 minutes. Got a breeze blowing on my back. Not a fan. How's everybody doing today? We only got 14 people in here, 15. NQ goes to 740, then short, but I doubt it. We'll see. I think if it's pushing that high, again, like I said, I'm keeping an eye on the Magnificent Seven here because I think these are going to be telltale. This combination is going to be a telltale sign of what we want to do. So we'll see. Check this out, though. You want to know why I use this? So this is at 10:45 on Friday, right here, right? This didn't happen. Well, it started at 10:30, I guess, but this right here And this right here, this pre-told those moves. This was pre this was kind of foreshadowing a little bit. And it's happened. I've went back. I was doing this last night, going back and looking at data. You have all kinds of examples of where the Magnificent Seven kind of foreshadows what NQ and ES are about to do. So it's interesting. It's not 100%. Sometimes they move at the same time. But these indicators, or these tickers, these 7 stocks, kind of foreshadow what the market's going to do. So we'll keep an eye on that. I got that chart pulled up over on the other side of my monitor. Looking very bearish. We'll see. This sell-off, like I said, was a China thing from last night. So we'll see if the U.S. market responds likewise. It very well could, because NVIDIA and some of those guys, they're heavily tied to China. So we'll see. Two minutes. One minute. 1 minute. Seen a decent amount of buy orders stacking up down low. It's down at all the way down to 625 on ES. On NQ, it's lit up all over the place on NQ. Here we go. Gapped way down on the Magnificent Seven. Look at that. It's the ICT kill zone and pivots, Trace. Yo, D, market just opened, man. You're asking about working out. Lock in. Touched right back into that breaker. Touched into the breaker and then rejected right out of it. Let's see if it pushes below it. Why am I getting a latency detection on my data on Bookmap? It's not good. Yeah, well, I hope so too. Apex is good for beginners because of how cheap it is. Some of the rules are a little strict. Intraday trailing drawdown is not ideal. Gotta reopen Bookmap here. What the heck? Here's our push. 50K, Patrick. I think this is dumping to London. This is getting ready to dump, I think. Bookmap is interesting. Oh, yeah. NQ's dumping to London. Should have flipped over and looked at that. Now let's see if this keeps going. There you go. Pushing back up. Let's see. ES left some big orders down lower. Yeah, I was going to say, they left some big orders down there. I'd be a little surprised if it doesn't keep going. It comes down to about right here and turns around. Potentially. Be a nice potential breaker setup here forming if we get a sweep and then a V-shape recovery out of it. 65.99.50 on ES. That's where the book map. That's where the orders kind of. I mean, it goes down to 95. Actually, I could. There are some orders. The big orders are at 99, but it does go down to 65.95. We'll see. Flashing 191 buy orders at 99. Boom. There's London. NQ still pushing lower here too. $525 buy orders down at 66.02. Somebody's trying to bottom tick this. Yeah, Discord's in my bio. There you go, Joseph. Boom. Huge sweep there on book map. See what happens here. Magnificent Seven still dumping, so I'm not seeing signs of a reversal. Could just bleed. Pushing up on NQ a little bit. I think it's just going to bleed, man. Orders flashing way lower now. It's the vibes, man. I love to hear that. Mackenzie, I'm working. I'm not playing that booty cheeks Call of Duty either. Better get Battlefield. Here's a little bit of a turnaround here. Could just be a retest and a dip again. I don't know. Let's see what this does. A lot of orders popping in up higher now. Let's see what happens here. I'm going to see a strong move through this potential breaker here and form the breaker. Invert this one. I might take this on ES. I don't know if I do take it. That level was pretty good mark right there, right? See that? I'm liking the form we're getting here. Had you guys already entered on that? That's why I'm waiting for this. I gotta wait for this to at least invert this gap inside of the breaker. If it doesn't do that, then there's no trade. Exactly. This close to entering. It still could play out here. That's just a little dip back. Let's see what it does. I can't decide whether I would rather, if I'm going to take this, if I would rather take it on ES or NQ. If I do take it. Oh shit, you get brackets with a live account. That's interesting. I actually don't want that. Where did that just go? Where'd that limit order just go? Anybody just see that? Or did I not? Did I not fully? This is the first time fucking around with this, so. There we go. Got to get a retouch for an entry here. Not going to get it. I'm not going to FOMO into this either. I didn't execute the trade, man. I had when I put more money into this account, I put a little more money in here to make it an even number. I put it up to 1,000 instead of just 500, so I have a little more room. So I think when I did that, it enabled these brackets, which I didn't have before, and I had not fully executed the trade. So yeah, it's a live account with AMP. This is ES right here. I don't think we're going to get an entry on this. Unfortunate. No. I'm risking, right here, I'm risking 80 to make 116. Which is not the best. I mean, I think this is actually, if I was going to put my take profit, it would actually be up to here. Kind of like how it does the brackets. We're not going to get an entry on this, though. It's not a prop. It's a live account with a brokerage called AMP, A-M-P. No, you're good. I was just clarifying. Yeah, that's 1,000 of my money. So if I lose it, I'm out $1,000 bucks. But whatever I make is immediately mine. It's not this, payout stuff. It's unfortunate we didn't get an entry on that. A tap back into this one would have been beautiful, or the inversion. Up 20K today. Holy shit, dude. See what the standard deviation is on this move. Standard deviation would be right at that TP, basically, for 2 standard deviations. Maybe we do get an entry here. What would Asia high be? Be a nice move. It's not going to pull back all the way to there. Appreciate that follow, Bri. Have to wave to it. Just say bye-bye. Unfortunately. Maybe. Watch it just blow through my limit order and just hit my TP immediately. Inverted that 5, touched back into it. Maybe could have taken a trade off of that with the inversion of that 5 and that tap back. I'd rather get a dig deep here. I'm not going to trade unless I get a dig back in. And it's probably not going to happen. How do you get better with holding it? Sometimes you got to cut your mouse off or something, man. You got to stand up, walk away. I struggle with it too. Oh, Joseph, I didn't take the trade, man. I didn't get it. What I needed to take this trade, I was waiting for the inversion of this 1, and then what I would have wanted to do is take it almost immediately or a retest. But the fact that it just shot up like that, and that's where the candle closed up there, that's not a good entry for me. That's not what I'm going to take. So that's just part of the rules, man. I don't FOMO into trades. Sometimes this shit happens, and you just got to watch it go. Hopefully it comes down and retouches and then goes back higher. But if it doesn't, then it doesn't. We just didn't get a trade. It's just the way it goes. I live in North Carolina, D. Absolutely. New user. You're exactly right. The playlist is just called Tomorrowland Classics. Can I share it in the chat? I don't know if I can share it. I gotta cut my air down, man. I'm getting a breeze. This would have been such a nice trade. Pass evals quick and then below funded. Any tip? You're doing something different, man. You're not following a rule of some sort. You're not. You're doing something different. You need to be journaling your trades and making sure that you're analyzing exactly, excuse me, what it is that you're doing that's different, and stop doing it. It's also a psychological hurdle you got to overcome with the fact that it's like, oh man, this is real now, somewhat. Journaling helps a lot, man. It definitely helps a lot. Every trade, win or lose. Nah, we didn't get an entry, man. I still got the limit order set right here, but we didn't get an entry. No tap back. I was waiting for the inversion of this one right here, and then we just never got a retouch. What do I write down? What the confluences were for taking the trade, what my bias was, what my emotions were. I literally open up Microsoft Word, I take a screenshot of the trade, and I paste it into Microsoft Word. What my emotions were that going into the trading day, during the trading day. The confluences, what was your draw and liquidity? What else? What did you feel while you were in the trade? Were you anxious? You know, things like monitoring your emotions is huge. If you can get a hold of your emotions in trading, man, you're gonna dial it in really quick in terms of making profit. That's the hardest and biggest part of trading. I watch guys, people say don't trade with emotion. I think that's BS. You need to trade. You need to be able to know what emotions you're feeling and control them. You don't need to not have emotions. It's impossible for us not to have emotions. You sit there and hit $1,000 trade, anybody's going to have a good feeling about that. Or you lose $1,000, you're going to have a bad feeling about it. It's how you respond to that. How do you respond to those emotions? I'm trying to get into it, Manic Rick. I'm trying to get into it, man. My family does. I have two of my brothers golf a lot. My dad golfs a lot. A bunch of my buddies golf a lot. I played golf when I was younger, and I played a lot of baseball. Baseball was my sport. But I'm trying to get back into it. I'm trying to get into golf. Yeah, I can show you, Jace, and I can show you what the journaling looks like. After this trading session, I'll do it. What's up, Swiss? How's it going, man? Tyrone. You guys get in on that long? There you go. I was waiting for the inversion of this one minute, and then we just never got a retouch. So didn't get an entry. Yeah, I think he speaks at 12:30. Yeah, I'm betting PJ was looking at the same thing I was looking at. Jay, was he not? Was he waiting for an inversion of the one and a retest, and then he just didn't get it? Yep, right there. It's good to know that my learning has stuck from him. He knows what he's doing, man. If you want to trade if you want to trade ICT concepts, there's not many better people to learn from than him. I'm incorporating more order flow into my stuff now, and I could have jumped into that based on the order flow, but I didn't do it. Does he have anybody reading the book map right now? I usually only take one or two trades a day, if that. If we don't get an entry on this, I'm not taking a trade at all today. Absolutely. Journal your eval trades, yeah. Yeah, the book map is huge, dude. I'm still in Jay. I'm still in that premium Discord with you guys. I've seen Gaines making call outs and stuff. I just don't join the lives when I'm going live. I feel like that'd be kind of weird if I was watching while I was also trading. But days that I'm not live, I'm in there with you guys. I'm just lurking in the background. I like watching KWT in the afternoons, man. He knows what he's doing. He's got it dialed in. I don't trade the PM session, but I enjoy watching him and hearing his analysis. TP's at Asia High if it does get in. Yeah, Asia High. That would be the full move for me. It's a guy named PJ Trades. You'll hear me talk about him a lot. Great Discord. It's where I learned the majority of my emotional control came from being in PJ's Discord. And it's part of the reason I stay in there. Time-wise, it would need to be within the next 20 minutes or so. Yeah, it's a great question. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get it though. I think this is just gonna keep pushing. You could say this is a spot to take an entry if you're trading the higher time frames. You got a breaker here on the 15. Excuse me, sorry, I didn't. You got a breaker basically on the 15 right there. If we get a move above that, it verifies the breaker. And you got an inversion of this 15 inside of it. That's pretty solid setup. But that's a huge stop. It's a huge. You'd want your. That's still 55 points, even if you had it like way down there. It's not where you'd want to be. The move was down here for sure. Gabriel, I'm in school also, but I live off my profits. Yeah, I pay my bills and pay for school with my trading money. I'm in undergrad right now though. appreciate that. I do. I appreciate you guys. Man, this would have been a nice trade. Holy cow. It's frustrating. It's not. It's it's kind of frustrating only because it's like, damn. But at the same time, it's like I'm glad that we stuck to our rules. It didn't FOMO into it. FOMO in right here, and then all of a sudden it falls way down here. Yep, I'm just gonna have to wave to it. Great setup. No retest, no entry. It's all good. Could have maybe front ran it a little bit and taken an entry off the retest of this one, but that's with the bearish order flow that we had. That's not a convincing spot to get into a trade. Easily could have dumped, especially when you're front running 2 or 3, 4 other 1 minute gaps above it. Exactly. No inverse, no trade. Can hear him singing it right now. How did you learn trading? I mean, it's a lot of bullshit out there. I've studied it about a year now. You got to find some legit people, man. It depends, too. There's a lot of people that bash on ICT concepts. I think that, excuse me, I think that virtually any trading strategy will work, but it requires you to establish some rules and a game plan that you stick to consistently in order for it to be successful. That's true of ICT trading. That's true of order flow momentum trading. It's true about any trading strategy you can find. The question is, at that point, what makes the most sense to you, that you can understand, that you can execute consistently, that you can spot consistently? You got to find out what works best for you. For me, ICT made sense. I can spot it. I can trade it. And at that point, once I discovered that, and I discovered that it worked for me, I had to say, okay, well, why am I not finding success? Even though this is a successful strategy, what is wrong with what I'm doing? And at that point, I discovered it was my psychology. And that's not, I would say 90% of people who don't find success in trading are people that cannot get a grip of their psychology. And you got to find some people that are good influences that show you how to be disciplined, that show you how to execute quality psychological decision making. For me, that was PJ Trades. So watching him, being in his live streams, I saw, like today, hands off. Should have wanted this trade so badly, man. Saw the setup, but I don't feel anything from missing this. Yeah, it's a little frustrating. That would have been some nice money to have in the bank, but trades come and go, man. There's another one will come. So if you can find somebody who exemplifies good discipline, good psychological discipline, once you've discovered the proper technical analysis, you'll start to find success. Stick to your rules, stay disciplined, and know when to turn it on and turn it off. I appreciate that. Dude, everyone struggles with psychology, man. Everyone does. If they tell you they don't, they're not being honest with you. At some point or another, they have struggled with the psychology. They might have it under control right now, but at some point, even successful traders, man, they'll have slumps where it's like, I mean, I had that at the end of September. You know, from like September 20th on, I had a couple weeks where I really, really struggled, man. And I never contemplate. I know how this game works. It will break you if you allow it. And, you know, some people say, I thought about quitting. I didn't. That thought is not coming to my mind. You just got to know that if you're struggling and you're having a hard time, you just got to have a reset, man. Figure out what it is that's going on and fix it and move on. Can I explain a breaker? I think the technical definition is like a low, a high, a lower low, and a higher high. So you see a low, a high, a lower low, a higher high. That's what makes the breaker. But really, I like to simplify that and say it's the last leg down or the last leg up before the sweep lower, or the last leg down before a sweep higher. So in this case, it's the last leg up before price went lower to sweep, and then V-shaped out of it. I think that's the easiest way to think of it. The low, high, lower, low, higher, high thing can get confusing for some people. If you just look for the last leg up before the sweep down, or the last leg down before the sweep up, that's how you can find a breaker pretty easily. Let's see if we have one up higher. Kind of have one here, not really. You could say this is a breaker potentially. If this swept something, this is a small breaker. Like that last leg down before a sweep higher. If that actually swept something, that's a very small breaker. You like them to be a little bigger, more defined. We didn't get an entry, man. Zach, we were looking for an entry on this inversion of this one, and we never got a tap back. As you can see, we were going to long it off of that. Stops below, wick down here. Targeting London and then Asia, but we never got an entry. It's all good. I'm 7 days green right now, so didn't want to FOMO into that. I was in the 30-second inversion. Yeah, I saw that too. I was a little hesitant to take it because, well, obviously I was hesitant to take it because it was, I don't know. If I'm guessing this is the one you're talking about. I just wasn't fully convinced that we were ready to turn around yet. Could have gotten into it and put stops just below the wick low here, but is this where you got your entry? The number is right at, well, the top of the inversion is at, were you on ES or NQ? Oh, you're on NQ. Yeah, okay, I see you. Yeah, you got in right as it was starting to go back up. I see you. Yeah, you caught that whole move then. Are you still in it? Are you holding till London? No, I'm out. Okay. Yeah, Atomic, we didn't, Chavez, we didn't get an entry here. We were looking for an entry on this inversion of this one. Didn't want to front run it. That's a great question, John. I saw that. I was just talking with Jay about that a second ago. Perfect breaker right here. and solid retouch of the inversion of that 15. Great trade to take. Reason I didn't take it is because of where I would have wanted to put my stop. It's almost a 55-point stop, and I'm not willing to risk that with my live account. It's basically call it 60. So 60 times 2. That's 120. Was that 120 bucks? Yeah. So it would have been a great eval trade. I mean, it's a great trade regardless. It's just not. I got to know my limits, you know. Yeah, that would have been the bottom of the breaker. Exactly. But dude, you're right though. That is a solid. That's a solid setup right there. It's not hard at all if you follow your rules. The only thing that's hard is the trailing drawdown that you get up to your buffer. That's kind of difficult. But in terms of following the rules, man, you just got to follow the rules, and it's not hard. There's London. What's my strategy? I'd say smart money concepts, ICT concepts mixed with order flow. Use bookmap pretty aggressively, typically. This would have been our strategy right here. You had a breaker. We had a sweep of London low right here. I'll mark it back out. You had a sweep of London low, strong V-shaped recovery, breaker formed, inverted this 1 minute gap that was right here. Could have front ran it a little bit, but didn't want to do that, not risking it. So we wanted a retouch of this 1 minute inversion right here on the edge of this breaker. Never got it, didn't take it. Simple as that. They're very similar. I mean, there's a lot of the same concepts. Jorge. Are you over in PJ's Discord, Adam? This is who taught me this. So if you're seeing the same stuff over there, it's because it came. He imprinted it on my brain, and it works. Oh yeah, very strong success rate. You did get an entry on this though? I can almost guarantee that. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people will say that logic makes sense. I didn't take it because I was afraid of succumbing to the FOMO. But man, yeah, that's the other thing. You got to think also, John. Man, that's a huge. You've made up a lot of the move already here. Like, what if it just reaches these swing highs right here, and then decides to turn around? Like, what if that was the move right there, before getting to London? So you're basically getting in. You know, two-thirds of the move has already been made. It's kind of like, why risk it? There's going to be more trades. This is a marathon, man. This is an ultra marathon. Do I think we go to Asia highs? Yeah, potentially. I think we make up the majority of this sell-off from the China news last night. Yeah, unless Powell says something that drives the market way down. What's your sizing on your trade? How many contracts? I'd get out of the majority of your position and then hold the rest if you're in more than one contract. If you're in 2 or 3, I'd get out of the majority of it and hold the rest. Trail your stops. London high was your TP. JRG. Yep. That's what we wanted to target too, man. We just didn't get our entry. Looking for an entry off of this, well, we were on ES. We were looking for an entry off this 1 minute. When it priced to touch back into it before going higher, but just never got it. Still on paper, I keep losing my first trade, then winning my next. I've been there, dude. That's funny. I've literally been there. It's weird. And then you're like doing the math of like, man, if I just hadn't taken that first trade, I'd be up this much for the day. Yeah, I don't really know a fix to that other than maybe be more patient. Be okay with this kind of scenario where you're just like, you have to watch the trade go. You don't want to be overly like hesitant, but I wouldn't consider this hesitation. We just didn't get, for my personal strategy, I didn't get an entry. Yeah, definitely would have hit. It's all right, Fernando. If you saw it, you spotted it, you know, you had an idea of what it was going to do, and it did it. Don't feel like you didn't gain anything today. You saw price correctly. You just didn't get your entry. You know what I mean? Take that's a win in and of itself. If you saw price correctly and you just didn't get an entry and you didn't FOMO and you stuck to your rules, dude, you had a winning day. That's not coping. That's the truth. In the long run, that's gonna make you way more money than FOMOing into trades. Man, I haven't worked out in like a week. I got midterms going on right now, dude. So when you see me get off this chart for the rest of the day, I have a midterm today at 5 o'clock. I got class at 12. I will be studying. Literally. That's all I do. When I'm not on these charts streaming with you guys trading, I am head in the books for the past week. It's unfortunate. It would be chest and try today. Paramedic midterm, that's sick. Powell speaks, mark liquidity on the data lows and highs, yeah. Very true. Concepts you trade. I'd say I trade, what part of Florida? I trade ICT with smart money and then order flow. I'm mixing in a pretty heavy amount of order flow into my strategy. Use it bookmap. Near Naples, nice area. I spent a good amount of time in Fort Lauderdale. Got a brother that lives down there. You should definitely get the hell out of California. Yeah, dude, I don't know how you do that with the taxes. I had a brother that played ball in California, and the taxes are unreal, man. I would not, if I had a choice, I would not pay taxes in California. There's plenty of Tennessee's a good state. Their sales tax is kind of high, but they have no income tax. They have no their tax system. I think is pretty beneficial. I like Tennessee. Hey, North Carolina, man, we're getting full. If you vote the right way, though, you're welcome to come. Just don't bring that Cali shit with you. The beaches in North Carolina are amazing, man. That's where my family lives. That's where I'm living in Chapel Hill right now. That's where I moved from the beach. They're beautiful. Very, very low key, too. It's not super busy. Beautiful beaches. People are really nice. Restaurants are great. Yeah, Ethan, I do. I mean, I'm in school full time, but this is my income. Bro, it's just a chill guy. Economics, bro. Econ. Minoring in Nihongo. Nihongo hanashimasu ka? Benkyou shimasu. Appreciate the follows. Appreciate that. I hate that we didn't get an entry here, man. It sucks, but we saw price. We followed our rules. It's a good day. I think this is going to keep going maybe all the way up to Asia. Very well could keep going all the way to Asia. Yeah, if you're up, you took a solid trade there, JRG. I'd be calling it quits for the day. I don't like to take if I take a trade and I hit a banger like that, I get off. I get on TikTok sometimes and I see some guys that they have their P&L at the top where they're trading like Top Step or whatever. And they're up like $1,500 on the day and they're still trading. I'm like, what are you doing? Either size bigger on the banger trade or just be happy with the 1,500. If I made 1,500 on a trade, I'd be calling it a day for sure. Or copy trade more accounts. Same with me, Nathan. We didn't get the retest of the 1 minute inversion down here. Same here. We saw it. We knew what it wanted to do. We just had to watch it go without us, though. Is that the same setup you were looking at? If you guys don't mind, I don't usually do this, but I'm trying to get my YouTube off the ground a little bit. If you guys could, anybody that has YouTube, drop me a follow on there. It's Christian Trades Live is the account. I'm gonna try to start posting more stuff on there. Also, if you go on there, you can see the book map that I'm looking at on my screen too. So it's kind of beneficial. If you want to have that view as well, see what I'm seeing. It's my full trading view chart and the book map. Nah, we didn't get Joseph. We didn't get the entry here, man. We didn't get the retouch of the one. Just had to watch it go without us. Looking for the 5-minute. Were you on NQ? Got a little one here on the YouTube is Christian Trades Live. Here, it's in the chat. Yeah, I see you. You wanted it down here. Yeah. He did invert here and then kind of get a touch back right there. That would have been not a terrible entry. I was talking with somebody about that earlier. You had a breaker on the 15 right here. That breaker, and then you had the gap get retouched inside of it right there. This would have been a beautiful trade. The reason I didn't take it is I'm on my personal account, and I didn't want to risk the amount of, let's see, touch back onto there, down to here. You're talking 52, 53 points of a stop. I didn't want to take that risk on my personal account. Once I build the capital up a little bit more in there, I think I'd be fine with taking that, but not worth it right now. Can I explain the breaker? Breaker is basically high, low, low, high, lower, low, higher, high. And the easiest way I think of it is the last leg up before a sweep lower, or the last leg down before a sweep higher. It's a confluence. It's a confluence of, that's a great question. How would I explain that? It's a confluence of support, basically, or resistance. If you're shorting, it's a confluence of resistance. If you're long, it's a confluence of support, basically. How would I use it in a trade? So the way that I would use it in this trade specifically is I would have my stop. If this candle wick wasn't wicking down to here, I typically have my stop just below the breaker because it's an area of support. You know, if price breaks that level, it could potentially go lower. It's more likelihood of it going lower. So you'd use it as a confluence on where to put your stop. But what I would have done, because I've traded enough to know this kind of how it works, I would have had my stop below this candle wick. So what I would have done here, if I was taking this trade, would have entered on the retouch there, targeting London high, and stop would have been right there. This is the 15. And if I was trading from down here off the 1 minute, what we had here was this breaker. You can see it right there. Breaker, low, high, lower low, higher high with this candle. But you'd want to retouch before you don't just blindly take the trade. So you had a 1 minute inside of that. You had an inversion inside of that. What we were actually on, we were on ES over here. So this was the setup. And if I had gotten a retouch into this 1 minute inversion, I would have taken that trade. Stop would have been down here. Stop would have been right there, probably. Could have been right here. It's all about your risk tolerance. I could have put it right there. 15 was clean, though. If you look at the 15 on NQ, that breaker with the 15 inside of it right here. 15 inversion overlapped kind of with a 15-minute bullish gap. It's a beautiful trade right there. Exactly why I didn't take it, Nathan. Stops would have had to been a little too wide. Would have played out though. Hindsight's 2020. No, I'm not taking any more trades. I'm going to open and close on my. I have an eval going. I'm going to open and close a trade on there, so it counts as a trading day. A micro trade. Literally, just open it, let it run for like 10 seconds, close it, and not take any more trades for the day. Missed. We saw the trade that we wanted, didn't get it. Move on with the day. Exactly, Nathan. I appreciate that, Adam. Yeah, that's what you got to do, man. So it counts as a trading day, Jace. It's an eval with a firm called Take Profit Trader, and in order to pass the eval, you have to have 5 trading days counted. So in order for it to count as a trading day, you have to have taken a trade. So that's the way that I get it to just count as a trade, even if I'm not trading that day. That way, when I do make the profit target, I'm not sitting there still waiting on the trading days. No, they have no consistency rule. You can pass them in a day. So they don't have the same thing. I entered after the inverted fair value. I got up on NQ and hit TP just a moment ago. There you go, man. Very nice. No, we wanted this trade right here, man. We didn't get an entry on it. We had the breaker, 1 minute inversion. We wanted a retest of that inversion, and we didn't get it. So we just stuck to our rules and watched it go. Ever since that Friday drop, volatility seems pretty high overnight, even moving a lot. Yeah. Fridays used to be my worst trading days, man. I think for that exact reason. And there's my open and close for my TPT account. We're up big on the day, boys. Made a banger of a trade right there. Stick with me. Show you how to make profits. If you want to catch banger trades like that where you're making $4.50 in a day, stick with me. Hey, a win's a win. We're green. Yeah, it did. Took out London on ES and NQ. All right, I got to call it. I got midterms. I got to make sure I'm dialed in for. Got another Japanese quiz I got to dial in for. So I think it could potentially keep going higher, but we'll see. Be a key level to keep an eye on right here, Gabriel. I'm done, though. I'm not taking a trade. You do have a potential, let's see, potential breaker setup here where maybe not there. Yeah, potential breaker setup here. For shorts, you'd need the price to come back through it. So price came back through right there. You know, potentially, but I'm not looking for shorts here, man. You got bullish order flow taking place. I wouldn't be looking for shorts. There you go, Nathan. I hope you guys have success, man. If you're up, protect your capital. Don't give back any of your profits. Don't FOMO. Mind your rules. So we'll be back tomorrow, live, back better than ever, ready to do it again. So you guys be good. Take care. God bless you. Have a good day.